Well, Coach, first off, we hope this isn't the last football homecoming. But wow, what an ending! What a game! The field goal ended. Gardner, in his record-setting performance, just what an exciting game for Humboldt on Saturday.
It really was, and it was a great team win. Obviously, the offense bailed out the defense a little bit with the scores in the second half. Yes, our defense was struggling, but they came up with two big red zone interceptions there late. That really was the difference. Special teams kicked in with a great kickoff return at the end of the first half for a touchdown, and I think it says a great deal about our young men that they persevered, a never give up attitude. Didn't look very good, down 21, 2 different points in the second quarter, but the ability to come back now. It's the second time this season we've done that. The first game at Western Oregon, same thing, down 21. So just very, very proud of our players, of our coaches, that we were able to come away with a very difficult, hard-fought win over a very good Azusa team.
What does that say about you guys? If you can expand on that, obviously you don't want to be a team that has to play from behind. But again, what does it say about you guys when you can, guys, overcome that and come back and get a W?
Well, you're right. We don't want to make a habit of having to come back from 3 touchdowns down. But I do think it says a great deal about our players and the way they keep pushing forward and hope, believing that a break is going to happen. And we caught some breaks in the second half with the 2 interceptions in the red zone, as I said. And then the offense got rolling in a really special way, and certainly led by Jaquan, a special player having a special night, but also that offensive line played as well in the second half as I've seen that group play. Alex Kappa, Josh Hansen, Jared Leal, Sam Madden, James Bain, Shane Torrey at tight end. I thought maybe had his best game as a blocking tight end for us. The receivers are doing their part, and Robert Weber, continues to make good decisions. But certainly this was a night that you have to talk about Jaquan. For him to go for 445 yards, I think it was, of all-purpose, nearly 300 yards rushing, the 92-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, which was a huge play at a very important part of the game, right before the first half. It allowed us to go in down 14 rather than down 21, and I think that gave us hope, and we were able to build on that hope at halftime. So, Jaquan has had such a special career here at Humboldt State. But to take it up a notch like he did on Saturday, I think really speaks to just how special he is. And part of that being special is how humble he is. He doesn't want the attention. He's going to talk about the other players and their roles and contributions, allowing him to do what it is he does. But he truly is special, had a great night, and in many ways put this football team on his back the way he ran with the football on Saturday.
I'm sure you're going to say in your tenure, but is Gardner maybe the best back to ever play at Redwood Bowl?
Well, I haven't seen a lot of others, so I don't want to disrespect them. But certainly, I've had some very good ones here. I've been blessed with Lyndon Rowles, with Nick Riccadulli, and Jaquan. All 3 of whom ran for over 1,000 yards in multiple seasons. But certainly it's hard to say anyone's better than Jaquan with what he has done. And he's done it now for 4 consecutive years. It was his sophomore year, way back in his sophomore year, when he led the nation in rushing and had some monster games that year. Last year, a disappointing season by his standards, primarily due to an ankle injury that hobbled him the majority of the season, and yet he still ran for 1,300 yards last year. So again, I hope our fans realize how fortunate they are this year that they get a chance to come out and witness most likely the best running back Humboldt State has ever had. But in addition to that, the career passing leader in Robert Weber. I think he's 10 receptions away from taking over as a career receptions leader. That would be Chase Crevichet. And then you have an offensive tackle like Alex Kappa, who's been a 3-time and I believe will be a 4-time lineman of the year in the conference. So our fans this year that come out to support us, and we had a great crowd Saturday, and they were as noisy and as loud as I've ever heard them. But I think they're being treated because they get a chance to come out and watch some of the very best to ever wear the Humboldt State uniform.
When you talk about Kappa, and what's it like even in practice when you have scouts, NFL scouts, here, taking a look at him? What has that been like?
Well, it doesn't change practice, but it certainly, the word is out. I mean, we've had so many come through, have more coming through this week, and yet Alex, it doesn't faze him. He doesn't change how he goes about his business. He's very businesslike with a fun attitude in practice, but he's a leader. He's vocal, and he leads by example first, and that's the best kind of leadership for any player, and he does that, and it's just, we sit there as coaches and marvel at what he does in games, how he's manhandling players and moving them around and so forth, and he's done it against every opponent in every game, it seems like, and again, we're so fortunate that Alex, like Jaquan, is wearing the green and gold.
Just for background, are you able to say how many NFL scouts, how many teams have come to check him out, and then what teams will be here? What team?
Well, I think it's over 20 that we've had here. We had we had the Packers and the Chiefs here a little while back. We had a representative from the Senior Bowl here last week. We got the Seahawks coming in this week. I know the Eagles are coming in this week, I believe. So just about every team, by the time we're done, will have been through. And it's fun because this is not an easy place to get to, Arcata. The player really has to be a legitimate prospect, I think, for scouts to make the effort to get here. But they are doing so. And there's many practices where we'll have 2 or 3 there as well. So, and they all seem to be very impressed, not only with Alex, but taking a look at Jaquan, certainly. And so, again, that's all you hope for as a coach, is that your players get the deserved recognition and are given a chance at some point. And once they're given that chance, then it's up to them. But again, as I said, we are fortunate, blessed this year to have some of the very best ever to wear the uniform playing for the Jacks here in 2017.
So the scouts aren't here for you?
No, they're not here for me. That's an absolute, yeah.
One more question about Saturday. We'll talk about this Saturday. There's been some memorable finishes here at Redwood Bowl. I remember the national TV game, the game-winning field goal. You have another game of field goal. How does Saturday compare maybe to that one, or is that the kind of the best to be a part of that you see?
It's up there, certainly. I think at the Redwood Bowl, you have to list those 2 games. 2011, national television against Central Washington, a game we had led really throughout, and then all of a sudden we turned the ball over in the 4th quarter a couple times. Central Washington comes back and has a lead with under 2 minutes to go. We get the ball back and drive down the field, position ourselves for what ultimately would turn out to be the game-winning field goal, kicked with no time remaining. Brian Bloomberg with the kick back in 2011. The fans rushed the field, and it's hard to beat that one, but if any game does, it would be Saturday, certainly. With it did not look good, and I know that for our fans. And I heard even that some fans left at halftime, with us not playing well and being down the way we were. But again, to come back and then to get the crowd behind us, and that crowd was as good as any crowd I've seen at the Redwood Bowl in my 10 years. They were noisy, they were into the game, they were behind us throughout that second half, and the offense got going from the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Every offensive possession ended in points. I think it was 6 touchdowns and then a field goal there at the end. And like I said, you also had the special teams kicking in with the kickoff return for a touchdown, and the defense coming up with the 2 interceptions, but also the stop on the final play. We were able to get a little bit of pressure on Elfers, their quarterback, and the receiver he was trying to hit, he overthrew in the end zone, and you get a win as a result. So very exciting.
And to have a kicker, knowing, he hit 40 plus for that game winner, and hopefully the games aren't too close. But if they are, knowing that you have somebody that you can rely on for that game-winning, pressure kick.
What a great moment for Jose Pepe Morales. Again, he's a team favorite, number 1. All right, and that's Pepe is how he's known throughout the team. But let's not forget, he hasn't attempted a field goal since the first game of the season down at Azusa, back in early September. And again, to know it's a game, potentially a game-winning field goal, having it from 47 yards out on a night where it's heavy air, there's moisture in the air, and it's a cold October evening. You know, he hit that ball solid. It was dead on, and came through in the clutch, and just, again, could not be more happy for him. But again, it's not just him. It's everybody that's up front blocking for him, providing the protection. It's Cameron Calder, our long snapper, short snapper, that put the ball spot on. It's Alex Elterman to receive the ball and put it down properly and let Pepe do his job. And so, again, I wasn't sure if it was the right decision. I can't say it was 100%er. All right, it was one where I went back and forth a little bit. Timeout was called. Brought him to the sidelines, and every Thursday in practice we do what is called a noisy field goal. I'll get all the players around the field goal unit, put the ball usually at the 15 or 20 yard line, and they make as much noise as they can to simulate that situation. Okay, and they get goofy with it. They're running in front of the kicker and all sorts of stuff. And so when the timeout was called, I brought him to the sideline. I said, this is nothing but noisy field goal. Just treat this like Thursday practice. All right, let's end it the right way. And he sure did. He put that thing through. So happy for him. Happy for all the players.
All right, I'll ask you about this week now, and you got Western Oregon coming in, and you think after what just happened last week, you know, I mean, this could be another high scoring, a lot of points, back and forth game, knowing that what happened the last time you guys happened to win up there.
Western Oregon is a much better football team than their record would indicate. And they always play Humboldt State tough, and we got away with one up there earlier in the year. Again, a game where we were down 21. They had completely and totally outplayed us, and then we're able to come back, force overtime, and then benefit from a missed extra point.